Okay. And we're live. I think everything's working. Fantastic. So on this stream today, I guess I was going to just cover that progress is continuing to speed up, and the things that we've talked about are continuing to happen. Specifically, the local machine being assembled and the influx of capital, of some capital. And I was going to cover a little bit about like news headlines and stuff, but I don't know if that's a huge value add right now. I will say this. Bitcoin rallying in response to this Venezuela thing kind of doesn't make sense, because one of the things that does make Bitcoin go up is the dollar getting weaker. I hope that makes sense. When the dollar gets weaker, this is one of the factors that makes Bitcoin go up. The Venezuela thing actually makes the dollar a little bit stronger. So I'm not trying to sound bearish on Bitcoin right now. I'm just saying that sometimes, like, even Bitcoin is susceptible to random noise. I mean, that's probably extremely obvious. But yeah, anything about economic forecasting that I talked about last year, I still stand on all of that. In fact, oh, hey, Dr. Mac, if we're looking at the price chart for NVIDIA, it seems to be pretty much exactly in the lane that it's been for now 2 or 3 months. Like, I don't know. So let's see. NVIDIA is at 189. It seems to have been, a little rally today. But I guess, I mean, it was down to 170 December 16th. So I guess that was a solid 10% lower, maybe. Hard to say. But yeah, it unless you're trading derivatives, it's.
Hey Phil.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Dad, I can hear you on the Senior Circus channel, but not the Pyro channel.
Okay. What about it now? What about now?
Yeah, I can still, like, I'm on the Senior Circus channel,
Okay.
and then I can hear you talking. If I go over to the Pyro channel, I can't hear you.
All right. I think
When you're doing now, it's supposed to be on Pyro, right?
it is. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna and back on stage. And yeah, okay. What about now? Do you hear it now on the Pyre side?
Let's see, I'm on the Senior Circuit, so let me switch over to the Pyro side.
Audio check. Yeah, can you hear me now? I think you can now through here. And I won't be able to tell, at least from audio, but let me see in chat. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Okay, well, fantastic. I was just talking about Venezuela a little bit, and in general, like how the news from Venezuela doesn't really tack on to it doesn't really like justify Bitcoin rallying, but I think that was the wake of what happened. Yeah, Alexi, the stuff about IL free pools, that sounds almost like completely, that sounds like complete buzzwords because pools don't really cause IL. Like, IL isn't like a thing that happens. I don't know how else to decide. Like, IL is not a thing that happens. Alexi, can you hear me? I said Dr. Mack can hear me, so I hope Alexi can. There's been a lot of like disconnection and reconnection. You said, can you have that IL free tech? So IL isn't really caused by pools. Like IL is not an event that happens. Like it's not a real loss. So like what you're reading there is like a buzzword. IL again, and like I want to get the whiteboard out, but it's already got cover stuff all over it. IL is like measuring two different scenarios and then figuring out which one was better and then taking the difference between these two scenarios. So it's like, Alexi, think about it like this. Are you married, Alexi? Are you married? Okay, Alexi, so imagine this. Before you married your wife, you were dating two women at the same time, okay? You were dating two women in parallel. Now, one of them had D cups. Do they say that in Europe? She had like a D cup rack. Make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Okay? All right. The other one had an A cup rack. Okay? D cups, giant bosoms, large at least. A cup, like the smaller bosom. You get what I'm saying here? Okay? Alexi, if you end up marrying the woman with the A cup rack, you did not lose a C cup of titty. Does that make sense? Like, that's not how that works. You are not negative C cup. So when they say IL pools, and I haven't read that, it's like this is a completely different scenario. Like, you could have married that one, but like you also didn't. And the thing is, the woman with the A cup, it's not like you hate her. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? You still chose to marry her. And I have to use these, I have to use these crude metaphors because sometimes they hit home. So a pool can be impermanent loss free. Now, what does this really mean? Because the fact of the matter is, you're still holding two piles of coins. Does this make sense? So you're still holding two piles of dust, of stones. Does that make sense? So what you have fundamentally is you've got two barrels of rice and beans. Does that make sense? And you have a business model where people can bring you rice and take beans, or they can bring you beans and take rice. Does this make sense? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Okay, so in order for this business to recognize that these two items have fluctuating price, right? Because rice and beans, they can go up and down in price. That also implies that the ratio between rice and beans, meaning the exchange rate, the barter rate between rice and beans, also has to change. Does that make sense? It changes based on how much supply you have, or you can change it whatever the fuck you want. You can change it based on other factors as well. Does that make sense? Well, the point being is, like, as the demand for one of these goes up, which is kind of like the price of it goes up, you're going to be giving away more of it because you're accepting the other one in exchange for it. So this IL-free pool, it's like they have a ratio between two piles of dust, of coins, of rice and beans, and they have some type of balancing equation between them, meaning like it's like a compensating equation. It's a compensating. So if one of them teeters over here, it doesn't want to break. It always ends up shifting the fulcrum. It's like a, you know what I mean? Like a scale where like the fulcrum shifts back and forth to determine the ratio between the two. So the fact of the matter is that like, this is not like it's not a loss when you get IL. Like the paradigm of IL. Oh, you mean in the actual in that project? Okay, so my first guess right there is that what it does is it allows you as a liquidity provider to take that LP position and like collateralize it against like a hedge. Does that make sense? Like that's like the idea of it. Like, oh, hey, you can take the LP position and then you can leverage it in the direction you think it's going to go, so that way you can kind of like you know what I mean? Like you can get premium on top of your swap fees, basically. Yeah. So like if you have LP and you have you can borrow against the value of the LP and then you can hold the token illiquid. So like when you like I mean that makes sense. That's a hell of an equation. I hope it works. Yeah. Like it's not you can already kind of do that with like tarot and shit. I think kind of. Cuz like what you do is you basically take LP, you deploy like you put it as collateral against the loan, and then you borrow just the one side of the equation. So like you can kind of like leverage your own liquidity. I think. I have not researched that, but the fact of the matter is, like think of it like this, Alexi. If you have two places to go to dinner, and one restaurant offers you a salad and the other restaurant offers you a soup, if you pick the soup, you do not have impermanent loss of like carrots and lettuce. It's like that like you are making money in like a different format. And a great way to think about this is think about a piece of real estate. Think about like a house. You can rent a house out like month to month to a tenant, right? But you can also do like a short-term rental. You can do an Airbnb, in which case you rent it out like room per room, night by night. So one of these models requires like a little bit more attentiveness, and maybe it'll make more money in the short term. But there's still a trade-off with how much you want to actually manage it. So like the impermanent loss thing, you know, like I'm still mad at that project Bancor for like bringing it into the vocabulary of Web3, because it's been an absolute boogeyman and it doesn't really mean anything. I was just talking about how people not understanding finance ratios is causing like, I don't know, this non-progression of Web3. But you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about how it could be better, right? We're just going to build it to be better, okay? By the way, so again, I was saying this before, the local machine still happening, still very much happening. The capital infusion also happening. I just happen to be at the behest of other people's patience as it comes to this. I know that y'all's patience is one of the nearest and dearest resources here in this project, and I appreciate it. But yeah, like that's all still happening. Like we are all things are looking more bullish with every week. Like my schedule is even making more room to actually maximize on the work. I was able to do a lot more of the script, which I have on the screen over there, the spec script, because this whole project now is being written as a screenplay. It's being converted more or less, and I've been able to actually consolidate a lot of the work that I've been doing over the last year. I've been able to consolidate it now into into like folders and digital, because when you're in the creative process, you end up working a little bit on your phone and then on your computer and then on a different computer and then a notebook over here and then like an index card over here. And consolidating it all and turning it into like a canon Bible is actually definitely part of the work. But as I get back into being elbow deep into this project, I want you guys to know I'm only more bullish on my own bullshit. Like, I worked my ass off on this. I did a great job. Yeah, I only believe I'm going to knock this out of the park. I believe I will outshoot expectations because I don't think anybody else has tried to swing this hard at the I don't believe anybody's tried to swing a stick as hard at the Web3 marketing piñata as this. We also have influencers with six-figure followings waiting for Learn Pyre. They're waiting to be part of the same people who will test it the first time, just like you guys. Does that make sense? It allows us to broaden our reach quicker when they now understand all they're doing is they're driving traffic to this this video page, this video site, because they're video site people. You guys get it? I'm trying to, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lizio. Yeah, I know. Yeah, more than just you guys. Yeah, more than just you guys. The whole world is waiting on me. That's how it feels sometimes. But I don't want to ghost and disappear. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little video we put in the announcement, that last announcement. More work is getting done on aesthetic overhaul. I know, Alessio, we didn't fuel the bot, or like, I don't know, like that was like a conversation that just didn't happen. But it'll still get, the money's waiting for it. It's like we're confirming one last thing. Yeah, I promise you it's there. It just got delayed because I legitimately couldn't get in touch with the right person at the same time. But again, I don't know what to say other than things are like locking back into place. I can't stress enough how bad things were between like June and July and August, because like nothing got done at all, and it was like rebuilding a human life. I think like September and October work began happening, kind of like rebuilding this office and this set. And yeah, that's also kind of like when the work on TIFF started like taking place again. A lot of it was like finding the work on TIFF. Like that was a lot of work. Because I've done a lot of work on this. But I will say this. Some of these delays have been to our benefit because we're going to be able to use AI voice acting. The AI voice acting is useful because if we need to recreate the whole production and make it all in Spanish or make it all in Turkish, the AI can do that way quicker than I can. Do you get what I'm saying? Like every character in the story has a voice actor that is now like a file, right? So they have like just the way they have like a LoRa, which is like their unique image set, they also have like a unique audio set. And by the way, that tech didn't really exist very good when I was making the flip book. So like that's how quickly things changed. Yeah. I want to say everything as far as the Phantom Network goes seems okay. We think we know where the price mismatch is coming from. It does not seem to be a disaster. The Chainlink thing does not seem to be a disaster. Axelar seems fine. Layer 0 seems fine. The only real hangups, I think, are the fact that CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap still think that it's migrated to S. But arguably, our business, our marketing strategy does not require people to know what CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko are. I'm being honest. Alessio, I agree. But by the way, we will not really do animation that much. We might do it like a little bit just for like things we want to call attention to. But like animation is still not really there. I know the video I put in the thing, it has like this animation where you're soaring. And that was really more like us testing the capabilities of it. I don't think it's there yet. Like you can still see those artifacts on the left and right. Do you know what I'm talking? Have you seen it? Where it's like, oh, I can see it's AI because it's generating, you know, houses out of thin air. It's small details. It looks way better than it did a year ago. AI animation, I'll tell you that. But Alessio, yes, static images. And I'll show you this thing. It's called. There's like camera movements. They are called dollying, trucking, and I think jibbing. Does that make sense? So going up and down is jibbing. I think dollying is like left to right, and then trucking is like going forward and going out. I think I might be getting dollying and trucking mistaken. But effectively speaking, we can do transition images. So let's say you're looking at Fergus's face and like first he's thinking and then he's talking. So we can make those two images kind of like transition well. Or if it's like a dialogue scene between two characters, it's like we can rapidly switch between their faces, we can transition their expressions, and we can kind of like involve their hands in what they're posing as well. Believe it or not, I don't believe that we're losing any efficacy from not being animated, because in this day and age, everybody wants information density. They want like lots of information quickly. Would you guys agree? Like that's like TikToks that are being recorded at like 1.5x speed. Us doing this style of video storybook, I'm the narrator, right? So I'm the actual narrator. I'm one of the main voices in the story. What having a narrator allows you to do is it allows you to get to the fucking point. Does that make sense? When you can just narrate something, you can just tell the audience the context. You don't have to like spend all this time like showing it with videography. So I'll give you an example. Have you ever seen an action movie with Jason Statham? Alessio? You probably have. Anyways, in America, they recycle this actor and the trope of that movie again and again and again. And it's like, I'm a violent blue-collar man. Does that make sense? So they always make Jason Statham like this recluse who's like trying to, change his life after he was, dangerous when he was younger. Does that make sense? Anyways, so then there's always a crisis, and then he needs to go save somebody, right? And that's like the plot every single time. They will always give him a background that he is ex-military, ex-police, ex-special forces, a former martial artist, a former prize fighter, just something violent. Does that make sense? I'm talking to you, Leslie. I'll wait. Okay. So the point being is, when you have a narrator, you can just say this. Jason is former special forces, 8 years. Yeah. He was a breacher. He worked with ordnance. That's it. Right? You can just get to the point. Does that make sense? If you don't use a narrator and you have to tell that story with cinematography, you have to do a flashback sequence. You have to add other characters talking, and they provide the context of the audience. Like, oh, he worked with explosives in the military. Oh, okay, I get it now. Or you have to create this scene where like he's at the gun range and he's like working on his gun or like cleaning it or disassembling it. And then he talks to the range officer who he's like friends with, and they have like a back and forth about their prior military experience. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so a narrator, we're actually allowed, the narrator approach allows us to tell a lot of story quickly, actually. Because we can just say, hey, like we don't have to, evergreen, we still have very immersive sound design, okay? Yeah, exactly. And then also, it doesn't add anything. Like, it doesn't necessarily make the story better. Yeah, like, it would make more sense to just narrate and, like, get to the fucking point. Because you can still make a story. People still read comics today. They still read manga today. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they still read these, like, graphic novels today. So, like, obviously, there's still people are quite all right with this type of storytelling. Like, they're quite all right with this. So we still do have audio. We have audio with ours, and some of it is still quite advanced. So I don't know if you know this part of the story, Alessio, but Fergus, who is our protagonist, he has to ride to the capital city after his father dies on a horse that he borrowed from his neighbor, Does that make sense? And then the horse dies. The horse dies violently. Do you know about this? Yeah. So he spends the night in this little cabin and he leaves the horse outside. Anyways, the horse gets attacked by a fucking monster. It's like a small dragon. It's called a harmaloct, which is a word that I guess ChatGPT helped me with. So it's like a dragon the size of a small bus, like a large van. Does that make sense? So So the point of it is, Fergus, I have to create the sound design for a horse getting butchered on the other side of a wooden door. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Yeah, so it's that, by the way, that's the most intense sound design scene. Now, so we are in fact using AI to generate the sound of a horse freaking out as it gets killed and eaten by a monster 4 times the size of it. Right? And Fergus, the protagonist, is just hiding inside the little shed. And that's all in Act 1, by the way. So Act 1, I'm still narrating, right? And Fergus is just fucking hiding because he's holy shit. And then he can't do shit to save that horse. And anyways, that's the start of his fucking troubles. I'm not gonna give it away because I spent a year writing this shit and it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Anyways, do you guys have any questions? Things look bullish for Ethereum. Things look, Lezio, I can't wait as well because truly, this is the final boss level for me. One day I'm going to tell the story of all the delays. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I'm not quitting. Fuck. I would say certain things I had to realize I didn't know shit about. I did not, when I was playing this stuff out before, I did not think about sound design as part of my job at all. But again, Alessio, June, July, August, and September, nothing happened on the actual Learn Power content. I was rebuilding the office and stuff. I was plugging in electrical around the house. I was fixing the plumbing. I was setting up the studio and the lights. But that was work to begin the work again. I was rebuilding the workplace to do the work in, and that was its own fucking job. But yeah, I'm not quitting. This is all I have. And why would I want anything else? Yeah, we're gonna have. Okay, did it shut off on me? All right, let me turn this back on. All right, anyways, I know what you mean, the 90-90-10 rule, right? The 90-90 rule, right? Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. I know what you mean. Arguably, the devs are bored because they're all waiting on me too. That's why the yield dashboard kind of came out of the woods. Yeah, I know, Lesio. I'll tell you this. Have you tried deploying a little bit of liquidity and learning the yield dashboard? Maybe $100? Okay, all right, well, again, it is arguably the best liquidity dashboard in Web3. I mean, unless yield-based has a better one, which I haven't seen. And it's very, very useful because, again, I don't think people understand, the upside of just being an LP. And because people don't, it creates this, again, I'm so mad at impermanent loss. I'm just so mad at the concept and the Bancor team and stuff like that. But anyways, we're going to keep working. I don't need to come up here and bitch about other people that I think I'm better than, right? I just need to keep working. So again, thank you everybody for your continued support. I'm going to keep making announcements and hopefully producing teaser material soon. Maybe we can give you good, maybe when I finish, no more editing, a section, one of the acts of the spec script, I can release a section of the spec script as like teaser material too. Maybe I can give like 5 or 10 pages out of the spec script, and you just like, yeah, it'll be like a PDF, and it'll probably be like in the middle of the fucking story, but hopefully it'll be like an exciting. Yeah, it'll give you like an idea of what we're doing. And I know that like not seeing anything sucks. Like I do know that. Like so I get it. Anyways, again, I appreciate everybody's tenacity. Tenacity is what separates us. Thank you for coming to the Pyre stream. We can wrap it up here if there's no more questions. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week. Oh yeah, it's just me now. Okay, hang on.